I want to share something fascinating with you today, something that comes straight from psychology and human attraction. A lot of men assume they can instantly tell when a woman hasn't been intimate for a while, but the truth is far more subtle. Psychology reveals that her greetings often disguise what is really going on beneath the surface. That is why I want to walk you through 6 powerful patterns women display when they've been without closeness for a long stretch. And I'll tell you right now, the last one might completely change the way you think about female attraction. If you're new here, you're in the right space. I share insights every day about dating dynamics, feminine psychology, and the little signs most people overlook in attraction. So if you want to grow more confident and understand women on a deeper level, tap that like button. Leave me your thoughts in the comments and make sure you subscribe so you never miss a new perspective. The first sign is when she greets you with a story instead of a typical hello. Have you ever noticed a woman skipping the basic greeting and suddenly launching into something like, "You won't believe what happened at the store today?" This isn't random chatter, it's a psychological displacement. When a woman hasn't had intimacy for a while, simply facing the moment of saying hi to a man she feels a spark which can feel overwhelming. So rather than acknowledging the tension directly, she sidesteps into storytelling. It is not really about the story itself. It really is about keeping your attention anchored while avoiding the charged energy of that simple word. Hello, attraction psychology shows us that these stories are actually little bridges, ways for her to control the flow of connection without letting it feel too raw too quickly. The second way you'll notice this is through extraordinary politeness. Instead of playful teasing or a relaxed, hey, she might greet you with something unusually formal. How are you? Said with sustained eye contact, a polite stillness, and a pause that feels heavier than normal. At first glance, it might seem like she is just well-mannered. But psychology reveals that exaggerated courtesy is often about emotional protection. When a woman hasn't expressed desire for a long time, she can unconsciously use politeness like armor, a way of creating safety while keeping attraction from spilling out too obviously. What looks like etiquette is actually a careful attempt to manage vulnerability. The polished greeting is less about her personality and more about keeping her feelings contained until she feels secure. Third, there is the accidental touch that doesn't feel entirely accidental. Maybe it is a light tap on your arm as she says hello, or brushing clothes as she passes in a doorway. While it seems casual, psychology explains that these micro touches are actually an outlet for built-up tension. A woman who has been without closeness for a while can unconsciously choose greetings as the safe moment to bridge physical distance. It is subtle, fleeting, and often placed with perfect timing, right at the moment she acknowledges you. What matters isn't the size of the gesture, but the way it emerges almost seamlessly within the rhythm of the hello. In attraction psychology, these touches act like a spark test, safe, quick, but deeply telling. Fourth, notice when her greeting comes in the form of questions that don't actually need answers. Things like, did you find parking okay? Or was it chilly outside? These are filler questions. She isn't genuinely seeking the information. She is buying herself a moment. Studies of conversational psychology show that such questions appear when anxiety about attraction is high. If she has been in a dry spell, that simple hello can feel amplified in her mind, and small talk becomes her anchor. It is her way of softening the edges of vulnerability and keeping the interaction moving while she steadies her own emotions. Those quick, easy questions are less about logistics and more about regulating the energy she feels in your presence. The fifth greeting style is energy that feels mismatched to the environment. Imagine walking into a quiet cafe, and she greets you with big gestures, an extra bright smile, and a level of enthusiasm that feels almost like a party. At first, it might seem like she is just in a great mood, but psychology frames this as compensation. When a woman hasn't experienced intimacy in some time, her nervous system may overcorrect by pouring extra brightness into her greeting. That high energy doesn't mean she is trying to overwhelm you. It is actually a cover. She is camouflaging the tension inside by showing you amplified excitement outside. Attraction psychology tells us that this kind of greeting is less about the setting and more about balancing nerves with visible confidence. And then if it comes out louder or more animated than usual. And finally, the sixth pattern, prolonged eye contact before she says a single word. Sometimes, the clearest signal is silence. Picture the moment when her eyes lock on to yours, hold just a little too long, and only then do the words arrive. This isn't disinterest. It is the opposite. Psychology calls it a freeze response. A moment where anticipation rises before action. After going without intimacy, that pause reflects a wave of suppressed desire, surfacing in the most unguarded instant. The greeting itself might be simple, but the silence before it carries the weight of everything she is not saying out loud. That lingering gaze is not random. It is a doorway into the attraction she feels but hasn't yet expressed. Now, if you want to know the next layer of this, how women greet you when they actively want more than just attention, when they are truly turned on and ready to take things further, make sure you stay tuned for my next video. And don't forget, if these insights resonate with you, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so you can continue exploring the psychology of attraction with me.